Some breaking news about that event right there, the Breeders' Cup. Everyone focused on it Friday and Saturday, rightly so. It is the fall championship time in horse racing. For those of you not familiar with how it works, on Friday, Simon, there are 4 Grade 1 races, 4 Breeders' Cup races, but it's also a 10-race card, so there's 6 other races on that day. Then when you get to Saturday, you have the 9 Breeders' Cup championship races, but there's 3 other races on the card. Yesterday, there was a story that was circulating throughout the general media that TVG would not be able to show those races outside of the Breeders' Cup, and that was the case. But we have just learned from TVG management, who's worked overtime with the Breeders' Cup to make this happen, we are going to be able to show you those quote-unquote undercard races both Friday and Saturday. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to show all the Breeders' Cup races live as we did last year when Keeneland hosted the Breeders' Cup, with the exception of the Classic. All those races do appear on NBC.
They certainly do, but some of those undercard races include graded stakes races like the Marathon and the Twilight Derby on Friday and the Senator Ken Matty on Saturday. But our coverage will be hosted here from the studio. We won't be on site. We'll be hunkered down here, full team coverage with our usual analysis, handicapping, special segments, and interviews that we've garnered earlier this week from Connections, and some interesting plays as well along the way. So we'll have full team coverage in studio here in LA.
Okay, so we may be limited in what we can show you as far as those races and being on site at Santa Anita, but we're not limited as far as you, the TVG account holder, because we have the greatest promotion going on right now of anyone offering advanced deposit wagering, and that is our cash back offer. It is the opportunity for you to bet to win on those 13 Breeders' Cup races we talked about, 4 on Friday, 9 on Saturday. When you bet a horse to win, if they finish second or third, you get your money back up to $15. So we've still got everything you need to play the Breeders' Cup, and you can play it at TVG.com. And don't forget, we also have live video streaming.
That's right. We'll stream all the races live on our website, tvg.com. And just to recap, this is what's happening on Friday, what we're showing now. Thanks to this announcement here just moments ago, we'll be showing all these races, races 1 through 5, and then the nightcap, the Twilight Derby. And you can see all those on our terrestrial television, and you can see all the Breeders' Cup races streaming at tvg.com. And then Saturday, we've got 3 races we'll be showing you on the undercard, including the Juvenile Turf Sprint Stakes, the Golden State Juvenile for Cowbreds, and down the hill with the Senator Ken Matty, a Grade 3 event.
This is a very sensible conclusion to what had provided some anxious moments in the industry, because all these races we just showed you, there was no television outlet for them. They would have gone without television, have been forced just to the internet only. But because TVG realized how important this was to the fans, and obviously we wanted to provide you as much television coverage as possible, we have worked until the 11th hour to make sure that it happens. And I also understand from the fans, because I'll get questions when I go to the racetrack, well, you provide this on-site coverage at Santa Anita, and now all of a sudden you're gone for Friday, Saturday. In fact, we'll be back there on Sunday, the day after, for the closing meet. Like, why is that happening? At the end of the day, the fans don't care why it's happening. They just want to know, where can I watch the race?
Exactly.
So now they can watch these undercard races on TVG. They can watch the Breeders' Cup races on NBC. And as always, you can wager on all the action at tvg.com.
Yeah, the fans don't care about the politics,
Yeah.
neither should they. We should just provide them a surface. But if you're wondering, those 2 days of the Breeders' Cup takes over the racetrack. Santa Anita has no play in what's happening there. So they basically lease the racetrack for 2 days, whichever racetrack they're at. So they're in control.
I'm very happy to provide this announcement. TVG bringing you the undercards on Breeders' Cup Friday and Breeders' Cup Saturday, and all the action you can play at tvg.com. And with live video streaming, you'll see all of the action for those 2 Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championship days.